I'm often asked what subject I teach. So my response is I teach Hakivun, which is a curriculum that was created by Rebbetzin Leah Lustinger. The next question I get asked is, so what's Hakivun? Is it like a hashkafa class? And I'm always a bit unsure as to what to answer, because my association with hashkafa classes is something vague and maybe just topic by topic based on whatever the teacher decided to bring in that day. And quite honestly, the Hakivun curriculum is really so much more. So I often end up responding, it's a class on foundations. The foundations of Torah life, of why we do what we do, why we live the way we live, and really why we are who we are in a very clear, organized, and systematic way. That gives a partial explanation, but it doesn't really do justice to what's happening on a day-to-day basis in my classroom. The way that Hakivun is organized is unit by unit. We start with Yedias Hashem, the knowledge of Hashem, the purpose of creation, man and his unique role, free will, Shabbos, Tefillah, and there are many more units. And each unit can stand alone, but it also builds seamlessly on one another. And the goal of this class is not just information, it's discovery. We want the girls, by learning sources, to think, to ask questions, to be curious about what the answers to those questions are. And when they finally reach that place of clarity and understanding, there is nothing as moving as that aha moment in the classroom when their eyes open wide, it makes sense to them. And they have a sense of this is all coming together, and I really understand why I'm doing, and what the foundations of being a Torah Jew are. My goal really is, as they learn through these sources, as they go through this journey of discovery, is to evolve from just being teenagers to being young women who realize that I am privileged to live the life that I lead, to realize that I have purpose and direction in the life that I lead, to see themselves as on a journey with direction, to look at mitzvos not simply as a haphazard collection of laws and regulations, but as a means to an end, to look at challenges as not simply something unfair that happened to me, but as something purposeful that also is bringing me closer to a goal, to look at tefillah as not simply empty words that I mumble against a wall, but as a path to a meaningful connection to HaKadosh Baruch Hu and really to knowing myself. And that's really what's happening in my classroom. A journey to a higher self and to a higher life and a life of purpose. My students really do love the classes. I've gotten many comments over the years when I've had to be absent or I come a few minutes late. Can we make up the class? Can you take over another teacher's class? Can we make sure to get the material that we might have missed? Because again, to them it's not simply a subject that they have to take notes and take tests on. It's something that we do our best to connect and to have them understand its significance in their day-to-day lives now and in their future lives. I've actually taught this curriculum not only to high school students, I have taught and continue to teach this to adults. And interestingly enough, as I'm teaching adults, many of whom are highly educated, who've gone through the entire Beis Yaakov system to seminary and even beyond, I often see them experiencing the same aha moments, the excitement of discovering it's not just what I do, but the meaning behind it, the depth behind it, the sense of connection, of purpose, and that seamless unity between so many of the ideas that we cover from one unit to another. Within the past year, I've actually gone on my own journey of discovery. I was asked to teach a Chumash class based on Rebbetzin Cohen's curriculum. I have never taught Chumash before. After 20 years of teaching, this was a very brave endeavor for me. But it's actually been an extraordinary process for me to explore and understand how Rebbetzin Cohen teaches Chumash. For too many of our girls, Chumash has become a subject with a lot of memorization, and mi amar al mi's and al mi ne'amar's. Often, for some of them, they say to me it's a boring subject. The tests are stressful. And we want Chumash to be seen as the word of Hashem and their guidebook to life. And the way Rebbetzin Cohen models her teaching of Chumash is that we find themes, we look at psukim, we ask the questions on the psukim, we don't get stuck only on the details, but we look at big picture. And as we journey through these psukim, key ideas are developed and are emphasized so that the girls walk away not just knowing details of memorization, but broad and profound and significant concepts that they will hopefully take with them as guiding their lives. We do not simply want to give over information. We want them to see that the Torah offers endless knowledge and endless direction and endless relevance to their lives now and as they progress into adulthood. Chumash classes taught in this way, again, I'm currently teaching them to adults. The adults are expressing to me over and over the ways in which they see this life-altering. They sat through their high school and seminary classes and they gained a lot, but this journey of looking at the Chumash as a broad tapestry that with key themes brought out that they could take with them is something that many have expressed to me has profoundly impacted their perspectives, their hashkafos, and even their attitudes and actions as adults. So I see Hakivun both as the hashkafa curriculum and the Chumash curriculum as extraordinarily valuable in educating our young women, our older young women, in seeing Torah as meaningful and relevant and shaping their connection to Torah and HaKadosh Baruch Hu.